created this vessel that impacted millions of women all over the globe. To see this season end, what does this part of your legacy, we know what it means to us, but what does this part of your legacy mean to you?
Oh my gosh. Ooh. I don't want to get emotional. It's been an amazing journey. Never in 1,000 years would I have ever thought that it would have become what it is. It was totally God. The most fulfilling thing about Woman Are Loose to me is to look into the eyes of the women and to see their healing and enthusiasm. Like last night, I hardly ever went to sleep last night because that kind of healing and touch is a result of hours and hours of therapy that we often don't go to. It won't replace therapy, but it will supplement it in a way that I think is vitally important for us. And then let me say this, as I come to the final chapter of Woman Are Loose, that doesn't mean that it's over. My daughter, during Woman Evolved, is literally shaking the globe. And I'm hoping to put the strength of our machine behind her anointing to propel her voice to affect her generation in a very fresh and exciting way. And we are not alone. There are other voices out there. I mean, just flip through your phone who are dispensing information at rapid speed and making it available like never before. While we are not alone, I do want to tell you we're not gone either. Thank you.
We have Charlene with CBN right here.
Yes.
You know we love you so much.
Love you
Bishop.
too.
I interviewed several women here on location and just got their perspective on what this all meant to them. Many of them cried and they wanted me to tell you thank you.
Wow.
They said, tell Bishop thank you for the hits that you've taken that we have no idea about, the sacrifices you've made with your family.
Yeah.
And they're telling me that they're changed. One woman was in prison for 17 years.
Wow.
And she said she listened to your tapes on CD and just God transformed her life. She now is in ministry.
Wow.
And they wanted me to tell you thank you. And I want to ask you, what do you want these loosed women to do now? How do you want them to approach the cultural and pressure challenging issues of the day right now?
I evaluate the progress of a society by how they view their women. If we take a look at history, the more repressed women are in any society, the more backward and vicious that society is. So if we were to use a metric system of progression, we would look at how they treat women, and you can measure how they are impacted economically, sociologically, and even psychologically by their attitudes about women. The hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. But not only does it rule the world as a mother, it can rule the boardroom. It can rule elected officials' positions. It can rule entrepreneurships. And because I was raised by an intelligent, articulate, educated black woman who graduated from an HBCU in Tuskegee and went to school with Coretta Scott, I have never had a problem with bright women. I have never had a problem with bright women, and I want them to not allow the traumas of their past to limit or incarcerate or intimidate them from pursuing their dreams. What I want them to do is own, and own. Land, vision, companies, materials, branding, moving forward so that they can model to their children that we are people. We are people. We are not animals. We are not three-fourths, and we are not slaves.
We have April McDonald with WSB Radio.
Yes.
Hi, Bishop.
Hi.
Such an honor to be here.
Yes.
Thank you for everything that you've achieved and accomplished and how you've inspired and influenced us. So, with your expansion into Amazon and Freebie, first off, how were you able to inspire them to welcome your content? And what do you intend to provide to us through that content?
I have been knocking on doors for a long time. I have been out there for a long time. I was the first clergy to get a first look deal from Sony. We produced all of our films. We produced Whitney Houston's last movie. We did countless projects, Jumping the Broom, behind closed doors. We did all kinds of things through our associations with Sony and Fox and other people. So I've always been a trailblazer. To be honest with you, you get more no's than yeses. But every no is a gateway to a yes. And when we got these yeses, we seized on them. We negotiated them. We worked hard on it. Our staff, our COOs and CEOs worked for me, reported back to me on my behalf. We had updates, we had meetings, their staff meeting with our staff collaboratively so that we can create the synergism that's necessary to be effective. The misunderstanding often occurs when people see church. They think hardwood floors, Mahalia Jackson fans, and open windows, and the color purple. The color purple. They don't know that we have 350 people on staff. They don't understand that we have 5 corporations outside of a 501c3. They don't understand that we do our own graphic arts designs and that we have all kinds of people in IT and technology and all that. And we did that not to emulate anybody. It was just my vision to create a corporation that supports a church. Yes, we have deacons and ushers and communion and baptisms and funerals and weddings, but up underneath all of that is a company. In fact, there are 5 companies that do disaster relief, that do assistance to people who are in need, that drop down food and help into Haiti and South America and all throughout the United States, that fed people during COVID when all the restaurants were closed down. We were feeding the police, the nurses, the people who cleaned the rooms, and providing PPP. I got the PPP and the PCP and all of it. We provided all of that kind of stuff to them. That's unusual for a church to have those long of arms, but it is because of our organizational skills and our commitment to doing it. We have not been a church or a company that depended on the government to fix problems. We have decided that we are the people that we're waiting on, and we're going to fix them ourselves. And I have never had a member question me about our finances because they can see them. They can see them. They can see them in the fact that our building is designed for autistic children. We have special needs rooms for children. We were the first church ever in the history of America to join Best Buddies, a group that focuses on children with learning differences. We have extended help for people who have learning differences. We subsidize training in the public school system by tutoring programs. We do STEM programs through our foundation. In the fall, we partnered recently with Frito-Lay and took the entire Dallas Independent School District, not only to see Hamilton, but to produce advertisement, to do coding, to do programming, to do everything relative to Hamilton, and then to go out and to see Hamilton. And more recently, we took them to see Not Too Proud to Beg with Temptations, and it made the headlines of the Dallas Morning News because we are committed to exposing underserved communities with opportunities for which they have been restricted in times past. You can't close the digital divide without putting it within the reach of the people who need it most.
That's right.
So we have Todrick Johnson with Epitome magazine.
Yes.
How you doing?
How are you? Good to see you again.
Well, Bishop, I always said that you was a great teacher, you was a great speaker, but what I like about you most is that you're a visionary.
Yes, sir.
So this deal that you just put together with Rock Nation, can you tell us more about that? Because I'm a Rock Nation fan, and you know, I like Jay-Z too as well,
Yes.
yourself. So how did this deal come about?
Well, first of all, Jay-Z's model, Oprah Winfrey's model, Puffy's model, all points to a model that has worked well in our community. There are people who walk through a door because they had a talent and then turned the door into a platform through which other people were exposed that were never exposed before. Tyler Perry also. There are many, I probably can't name all the names, I should have started. However, the model that Jay-Z has done aligns very much with the model that we've done. We put other people on our platform. We put other people up to sing. We use other people's voices to record projects. We served our generation through the platform. So it is a natural alliance, though our messages are different, our methods are different. It's a natural alliance. The core values of Rock Nation are exemplified in the core values of TD Enterprises, in that we create platforms for people to stand on, to gain exposure that they would not otherwise experience. I look forward to seeing what our partnership will bring with Rock Nations, and I'm hoping that we can secure a similar project with Live Nations, through which we can go out and continue to experience and spread and reach a broad array of people. I am finding that a lot of people who follow me are in and out of traditional church. Incidentally, for your information, you might find this quite shocking. We generally average around 70 to 75,000 viewers who stream through our various platforms every Sunday morning from around the world. And then when we archive it on YouTube, some of them hit as high as 1 million. What you might not know is that we translate every sermon every Sunday into 90 different languages. So we are talking to the world, not just the church, not just the community, not just the country. We are talking to the world. And the reason we are dropping our products globally is because we see ourselves as one of the many global hubs that offer hope to the hopeless. We have made several trips to Kenya. We have adopted a hospital there in Kenya. We have many people here from Kenya at this meeting who understand our impact. We dug wells in Kenya for indigenous people who did not have water. Cities, houses, and communities have now been built around those wells. And some of the money that I raised for those wells, I did it right here in Atlanta several years ago in the Georgia Dome. We did what we said with the money. And now there are houses up and around them. They're celebrating that, and they are becoming a hub for IT in Africa, in Kenya. But they couldn't do that if they didn't have water. We will continue to do what we can, and we understand at our utmost, at the opiate of success, it is still a myopic touch in an ocean of trouble. So don't expect us to change the lives of 40 million people, but if we can affect 10% of them, we will have knocked the numbers down. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.